Hi, and welcome to Aquarius season. Wishing all the Aquarius out there happy birthday. So, the Aquarius New Moon is on January 24th, and it's so important for us to know that Aquarius is ruled by both Saturn and Uranus. Saturn is about structure, responsibility, and when we think of responsibility, it's not just only responsibility now for ourselves, but for everyone. So that's that Aquarius energy coming through with this new moon. So there's a great need to feel responsible for everyone, everything. And then it's also co-ruled with Uranus, the planet of rebellion, chaotic change, and upheaval. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, you feel the need to break free from all these responsibilities. So it's kind of like a duality like that with all the structure, and then we have the chaos on the other side, both co-ruling in Aquarius. Aquarius is an air sign, so during the new moon and during the season, you're going to feel the need to communicate. Communicate and think. It's a fixed air sign. So what I mean by fixed, thinking the same thoughts over and over and over and over, just mulling over it, analyzing everything, overlooking everything. Now this new moon is hot off the heels of the Saturn and Pluto conjunct, which created a lot of stirring up of breaking down of structures and wanting to break free. And now we are greeted with this new moon, basically wanting us to see what we can feel responsible for, the greater good, but also wanting to break free once again. And it's squaring Uranus and Taurus, which means we will experience stress and tension during this new moon and unexpected changes happening. So we might just like, okay, I've come up with a plan, and then poof, things just come up now. And next thing you have to reevaluate and think of your situation and re-see where you want to go forward. But it's not the time right now. It's more you almost coming up with the ideas, gaining this perspective, getting the insight, seeing clearly what is happening in front of you instead of being asleep. That's what it's about. It's about being aware, being so aware now mentally of everything in front of you that you kind of feel overwhelmed. So most Aquarius tend to take in everything that's happening around them, and then they withdraw because it's just too much, and then they're overanalyzing, and the energy can drive you crazy because now you're overthinking. You're thinking of the worst thing. So say, for instance, if you're going to get fired or someone's going to break up with you, you start overthinking it, overanalyzing it, letting it play and play and play and play in your head. You just get a feeling. But you're playing over and over the same message, the same vibration or frequency over and over, that you yourself start acting out with that chaotic Uranus energy and behaving in a manner of which now you just don't care. You go to the job that you think you're going to be let go of, and you start acting with disrespect, disillusion, no faith, no dedication no more. Or the relationship's going to come to an end. So you start withdrawing, just feeling off and like kind of feeling like, ugh, and you're not putting your best foot forward. Yeah, with Aquarius, we're meant to have these ideas and feelings, but we're meant to kind of act upon it in a positive way. Meaning like the job is good, you feel like the job's going to let you go, you kind of like look for something else, but still give your best. Or if you feel a relationship is going to end, or you give it some time. You give it some time, you have the thought, maybe express the thought instead of overthinking it, say what you're feeling. Oftentimes, the Aquarius energy is very held back in the vocalization, even though it's an air sign. It's more fixed air, so it's more stuck on thinking a lot. And it's also the water bearer, so it just gets this overwhelming feeling. Water bearer. Water is always to do with our emotions. Remember, Aquarius is the energy that goes into Pisces. So it cleanses all the toxic emotions that have been holding us down. So oftentimes, an Aquarius will get a feeling about a situation, place, a relationship, and it's a negative one. It's not very positive. It's overbearing. What they're doing is cleansing that negative energy by spending some time alone before they can express it. So it comes out not in an angry, aggressive, or out of the nowhere kind of situation, but they express it with like understanding that they have. Instead of overthinking it. When we overthink, all we do is drive ourselves crazy, and when we express ourselves, we sound nuts. We just are totally like a whack job now, completely out there. And that's not something that we want with this new moon. We want people to understand us, not that we, crave the, that if they, that the people should understand us. That's not the reasoning. It's just that we don't want to come across now like over crazy and having this thought, and then we have regrets about what we did. We now think the thing, sit with it, feel it. So think it, feel it, then you take action. Walk forward and take action. Don't think to such a point that you completely now having a panic attack, and when you eventually express yourself, it comes out like, this don't make sense. What is this person talking about? You don't sound right. And remember that this is the air season. Aquarius is all about air. It's about communication. People are going to want to have hard conversations, challenging conversations that come out of the blue. And they're fixed on what? They're fixed on their point of view. Everyone's going to feel very fixed on what they want to say, what they think, and also what they think they feel. So you're going to hear that. And it's important for you during these moments of confrontation to take heed. Listen. Take a moment, take a step, take a moment to weigh and actually think about it, feel it, and then move forward with expressing it. Move forward is the action step, so take the action then. Don't get completely like washed up under the emotions of others. It's they're the water bear, so always keep that in mind. Although they're an air sign, they're the water bear. Don't get over caught up in the emotion, where the emotion becomes so overwhelming. A lot of time during the Aquarius season, what happens to a lot of people, especially because we all have Aquarius in our birth chart, we become so compassionate, so full of like, oh my word, this is so bad, and I want to be there for you. And the thing is, oftentimes the people that you're trying to be there for, or the whatever person it is, colleague, work, you tend to kind of give everything of yourself. And next thing, you're drowning. You need to hold back a little in this season. You need to hold back. Don't get so deep in your feelings that you actually now completely don't know where you and this situation or person begins. And that happens so many times. As like I said, Aquarius is ruled by Saturn. It's about a networking, a connection of everything, the structure of everything. What combines structure? It's not just one thing. It's a lot of stuff that creates structure. So this need of wanting a greater good for humanity, a greater good for those we love, this wanting of that. But we can't step in the way of their free will. We cannot oppose their free will of not wanting it for themselves, of not wanting to better themselves. And that's the thing that sometimes really gets us in Aquarius season, is where we swept up by our compassion to such an extent that we drown in the emotions of others. We need to not allow that to happen. We need to take a moment towards self, a moment to feel these things for the next person. No one's saying don't feel it, embrace it. It's a good thing to want the best for everybody. But we can't put ourselves or compromise our health, our sanity, or our physical body in order to give that to another person or emotional state. So you are right to have the feelings. Allow that. Just don't get swept so deep into the feeling that you kind of become consumed and you jump into the ocean without a life jacket to try and save somebody else. You're only going to drown. They themselves might drown you. That's what happens. So with this new moon, take a moment. Take a moment to breathe. Take a moment to have a new creative idea, an original idea about your circumstance that you are right now feeling very stuck in. You would feel stuck. Remember, Aquarius is the rebel. You want to break free. This is the new moon that allows you to break free. But you got to have the idea. And you got to not drive yourself crazy by the idea. You got to have the idea and then filter through your body. Think it. Feel it. Then we move lower down and we take action. We don't have the feeling, or the thought and just get stuck there. Because all we're going to do is become overwhelmed and feel so just like you can't breathe. Because all you're doing is not even taking a moment to take a breath, but just overthinking and driving yourself crazy. You need to let it go. Have the thoughts. All the thoughts are going to be flowing through. You're going to have this new perspective in order to look at everything that happened when the Saturn and Pluto conjunct on January 10th. and you're going to actually, I'm sorry, 12th, and you're going to have the energy now. The lunar eclipse happened on January 10th. So now you're going to actually have the grand ideas about everything that happened then, the new ideas, but don't let it drive you crazy. Feel it and then take action. Take a moment. Aquarius season is a beautiful time to actually take a trip, so you can actually gain clarity of your mind. You need a distraction. What better distraction than actually putting yourself in a different location? So whether you're at your home and now you actually take a trip to outside into nature or somewhere different, it'll allow you to have the ability to think clearly. So do that. Give yourself the ability to think clearly. Take in the air in Aquarius season and this new moon. We all have Aquarius in our charts. If you'd like a reading, you can always contact me on energetic balance. I know this is going to be quite a difficult new moon, especially going forward into this year due to the Saturn-Pluto energy, which is a very, very volatile time where people are feeling really taken advantage of, attacked, brutalized, hurt by others. So this Aquarius New Moon gives you the opportunity to actually break free. It's just that you need to take the time and become quiet. Meditate, just take that time alone in order to gather yourself, in order to break free in a sense of not, like where you don't take the time and you've been overthinking and you're now crazy and you just rush in and you're grabbing your things and you're fighting and you're creating. No, not in that kind of essence. Let's take the time. Understand you have the feeling. Seek the signs for when the time is right. And that's what it is. Aquarius is very, it's a soothing kind of energy. It's not fire. It's not water yet. Give it a moment. Let it sit in you. Allow for these ideas to filter through. Feel it and then take action. Allow it to be done within a sense of peace and empowerment. Hard conversations are going to be had now. Everybody's going to be stuck on their opinions. Everybody's going to be stuck on their point of view because they're so, it's fixed air. That's Aquarius New Moon, fixed air. And they're stressed now because it's squaring Uranus. So understand, and they're fearing the change. So just understand that is what that energy is about. You just take your moment alone. Allow the ideas to come through and let them refresh you. Let them invigorate you. Let the new ways of thinking make you feel like, this is what I need to do. This is what I feel. And the moment will come when you need to take action. Thank you.